That's funny. Yes. I'm tell you right now, man. I don't even understand that. Like this new music going on, man. This is Moose, aka Big House, man. Showing showing Fru some love. You know, the League of Distinguished, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen, or the League of Distinguished Gentlemen. All them, man, showing them some love as well, man. Heaviest Radio Show. We still going, man. Get it's a little snippet to Bryson Tiller. We appreciate that, man. I try to keep it under, so you can't sue me or nothing. But anyway, hey, man, we up in here, man. Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Well, guess what? We are back. We're back at the Buddha Lounge, man. Because I'm solo tonight. And I wanted some Buddha food, so I got some Buddha food. And if y'all knew what Buddha food was all about, y'all be right here with me, boy. That's for sure. Anyway, folks, man, we're in here. It's Moose, a.k.a. Big House, man. And I tell you what, today, I'm not going to talk a whole long time. We're going to talk about the debate a little bit. We're going to talk about some NFL football. So I got some news you can use. And then we're gonna go forward from there, man. I tell you what, man. Hey, if you got any things, you can call. If you want to, you can call at 317-67-HEAVY. Again, that phone number is 317-67-HEAVY. You give us a call, and we will let you know what's happening. I guess I will, because, again, I'm on a solo mission tonight. All right? All right, so listen, we're in the air, by the way, so you're going to hear the sights and sounds of Indianapolis down on Market Street. The Buddha Lounge, man. We're back, man. Holla. All right. So as we get into this, let's first talk about that debate, which was absolutely crazy last night. Absolutely crazy. I don't know if you guys saw it or not. I mean, I watched as much of it as I could, but it was just like, whoa, like, like I almost couldn't put it together. So here's what you got. All right, so obviously we got Donald Trump and we have Hillary Clinton, both kind of doing their thing. So in the papers today, and really what we saw last night was this: Donald Trump lashing out, wildly. And I feel like he was disappointed. I feel like Donald Trump was disappointed in the way that he acted last night. And it's funny because him and Hillary Clinton both kind of overshadowed old Lester Holt, man. And, hey, shout out to Lester Holt, man. We appreciate you. However, that was a tough moderation gig last night because both of those candidates are very omnipresent, I guess, and I shouldn't say omnipresent, but they're boisterous, even Hillary, and they try their best to get their point across. So it becomes very tough. Now, I'm very surprised that Hillary didn't come back talking about the fact that Trump didn't talk about Bill's infidelity and all that kind of stuff. I mean, there was speculation. There was speculation early that he was going to have, like, it wasn't Marla Maples. I'm tripping on that, but it was somebody he was going to have in the front row. And then they also talked about having Mark Cuban there and that kind of thing. So it was kind of crazy, man. But I'm almost sure that, it would have been a mess because if you think about this, man, like Trump has not married anybody outside of maybe Ivana, maybe back in the day, or Marla Maples. He hadn't really married any American women. They all been foreign women. And I'm sure Bill Clinton's extramarital affairs are the fact that there was possibility of some later on will definitely come up to pass. So what's going to happen is Trump is going to have to cultivate more disciplined demeanor in his campaign trail. Otherwise, people are going to just be like, he's being silly. You know, I'm tired of him venting his grievances in full public, and and they're going to get sick of him. And I really feel like Hillary is going to have to be more open in her communication, more open in her, in her life and all that, for people to kind of trust her. Now, I will tell you that Trump criticized Lester Holt for asking him unfair questions during the debate, and speculated that someone might have tampered with his microphone. That's kind of silly when you ask me, but I tell you, Mrs. Clinton lacked the stamina to be president. But I mean, if you watched the debate last night, Hillary was totally prepared for whatever Trump had going on, which I thought was pretty amazing, because typically, especially in this debate this year, I mean, Trump was going off the cuff. I'm just going to say whatever's on my mind. I'm just going to respond and react to whatever she's saying. Whereas Hillary was prepared for what Trump had, which, you know what? I want my president to be prepared for what other people might say. So, if you look at Trump, man, he was disrespectful, towards Hillary, which is not going to show well with women, because then women are going to say, "Oh, he's disrespectful to women." He was cutting off Lester Holt, which a lot of folks of color, especially black folks, are going to say, "Well, he doesn't respect the black vote as well." And this race is going to be one of the most interesting that I've ever seen. I haven't seen a bunch of them, but it's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to go down in the history as one of the most interesting ever, because of the fact that we have Trump, who is a businessman, that has made money on television, has made money in business, that is running against a true politician from a political family. Even the Rodhams, which is Hillary's maiden name, were in the arena. So she's been around before Bill, and yes, her husband was president. She has been a senator. She has been, currently a Secretary of State, and so, was Secretary of State. As far as being qualified, it's really up to the voters. This is very funny, because I am totally staying midline, which I think is very interesting. But that's what I'm doing. As a broadcaster, this is Move Sege Big House. I'm staying midline. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now. I wish that I could have Hillary and Donald here with me right now. We have us a Moscow Mule, and really talk about what's really going on without all the other stuff. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I would not allow him to cut her off as we were having the conversations. I'd be like, "Yo, man, you know what? Chill right now." You know what I'm saying? I'm here at the Buddha Lounge on Market Street. I'd be like, "Yo, you got to chill. You know what? There's no cameras here. It's just us recording. Like, be cool." And then on Hillary, I'm sure that she will be able to maintain herself, in the wake of everything we got going on. So, all right. I'm not sure who you guys are going to vote for. It doesn't matter to me who you vote for. I'm not campaigning for either one of them. If you choose Hillary, then cool, that's what you do. If you choose Donald, that's what you do. I almost feel like that, really the folks in the median range don't make enough money for it to matter anyway, I guess when taxes trickle down and all that kind of stuff. But typically, the changes that occur from a presidency are about 10 years out. So right now, it's outside of affordable health care, which is happening right now, which our current president, pushed through. Of course, we also know that, as he pushed that through, it became change, until it's not anything what it looked like beforehand. Let's just stay 100 with that, Let's just be 100. It was not the same, okay? So, as that occurs, understand that whoever's president now, is not going to have a significant effect until about 5 years or possibly even a decade from now. All right, folks. Remember, you listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man, and we're live on Spreaker.com. If you got any questions or comments, hit us up on Facebook at Heavy Hitters Radio Show. You can hit us up on Instagram at Heavy Hitters Radio Show. Twitter, we're at Heavy_Hitters_. All right, so for sure, man. So I tell you what, it remains to be seen. Mr. Trump will approach the remainder of the race with, I don't know, what can be considered unfiltered abandon, or if he's gonna pull himself together and make a run for it. All right, who knows? And as far as Hillary's concerned, as long as she becomes more forthright and gives more information, she'll be cool. All right, and then there's no sweat after that. All right. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, man. I definitely want to talk about all the that could be considered terrorist acts that are occurring in the country. I want to know what exactly is going on with these kind of pop-up attacks from these Americans that have ties with other countries. So a guy, was born in. Matter of fact, we're here in Indiana, and there was a guy, that was from Brownsburg that traveled abroad, came back, and all of a sudden he's a terrorist. It's like, what was so crazy in your experience that makes you all of a sudden want to become a terrorist? It's like, was anybody treating you bad when you were at Brownsburg High School? I'm gonna tell you right now, I understand, like, going to school in those suburban schools, it could be difficult, but it doesn't make you want to be a terrorist. I mean, so it must be something inside your psyche, inside your ability, that makes you want to become someone that wants to inflict pain and injure people. I mean, how weird can you be? How weird can you be if you are in a suburb where there's not a whole lot of crime, people are pretty nice, man, Starbucks is booming, the ladies out there are happy, so, you can obviously find you a date, especially if you're a cat, with darker skin. I mean, they dig that. Everything is on your side, yet you still want to, make bombs and try to hurt Americans, man. It's like at that point, then go on somewhere. You know what? They should be prosecuting you to the fullest, because it's absolutely goofy that you want to be some sort of extremist and injure Americans, man. We not down with that. Really, we not down with injuring anybody. But it's one of those things where I truly think that if you want to injure Americans just because you have read some sort of book or you follow some sort of dude, you need to get out of here, man. Go over there, live with those cats, and I'm sure at some point you'll figure out that you might want to injure one of them. And then, if that's what you want to do, then so be it. But get out of here with all that stuff. It's ridiculous. All right, I tell you what, man. I'm transitioning. I'm transitioning slightly to the fact that that after the after all the situations that are happening and all that kind of stuff. I mean, with these knife attacks, like meat cleaver attacks and all that kind of nonsense. I'm just trying to decide because it never ends. It never ends for these guys. Like who's convincing these dudes that they're going to be okay? Well, I get it. If you do this for me, you get 75 virgins in heaven or whatever. Well, there's probably not 75 virgins in heaven, like total, because, I'm sure actually maybe there is. However, they're going to remain that way and they're going to stay pure and they're going to stay, I need to be the minister of telling you the truth, those Islamic dudes, and it's like, they're like, if you kill all these people, you're going to get 75 virgins in heaven. No, I'm going to be the guy that say, no. If you kill those people, you want me in heaven. You're me in hell where none of them are virgins. As a matter of fact, you'll have 75 sluts, that all have communicable and venereal diseases. That's truly what you're probably going to get, because I can't imagine any pious person or any deity. And, if you want to know what deity is, you got to look it up yourself. Deity. If you want to look up any deity, they're not going to give you 75 virgins for hurting people. Like, I haven't seen one of them that's going to do that. So, if you hurt people, you're going to have not 75 virgins that are clean and disease and drug-free. What you're going to get is 75 well-worn sluts that have venereal diseases and probably even communicable diseases. So you're going to get a nice cocktail of syphilis, gonorrhea, AIDS, and tuberculosis. Is what's going to happen. That's probably what's going to really happen to you if you decide to go ahead and kill a bunch of people. We're not trying to mess with that. Like, we don't want that. So again, you listen to Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man, and you know what? If you don't want to have gonorrhea, syphilis, and tuberculosis all rolled into one, don't kill people. That's it. We don't want you to do that, and it's not good for you to do that. All right? It's not good. All right, so folks, like I told you, we're live at the Buddha Lounge, man, downtown Indianapolis. It's a beautiful fall night. I'm down. I can see the circle from here, man. The wind is blowing. I'm sure you guys can probably hear that. And man, it's absolutely a beautiful night. I was gonna look up some scores here because we also got to talk about fantasy football, man, for sure. All right, so. If you go to the Heavy Hitters League, man, which I am, oh man, that went. Oh yeah, I'm 2-1. I'm definitely 2-1 in the Heavy Hitters League. But I'm gonna look up some folks here. Here's what we got, man. Russell Wilson is having an okay season. He's not really doing as well as I expected him to. That Amari Cooper is very much underachieving. I can't stand that dude. I want to talk about Malcolm Floyd real quick. Michael Floyd. Michael Floyd is, he's on the Cardinals, and he's a viable receiver for the Cardinals. But man, I mean, you know what? He's just kind of skating by, and he's really not performing at the level that he should now. A lot of times, of course, as a receiver, you have to worry about the quarterback. They cool, that kind of thing. And I know he has some concussion protocols not too long ago, so. That's part of it too, but he has way been underperforming this year, man. So I wouldn't take Michael Floyd myself. Now I will tell you somebody that I'm very interested in. Melvin Gordon. He finally had a decent game last week and this week. Now, against the Colts, he only had like 78 yards, but I mean, they were a good 78 yards in the Colts against the Colts, and he had a touchdown. So it wasn't bad, Here's the thing: most of his yards came from receiving. Well, I guess he was about half and half. He's like 35 yards on the ground, and then the rest in the air. So we definitely want him to come around, but for some reason, I'm liking him. I'm going to stick with him. All right, Shane Vereen's out. Shane Vereen got hurt. He's done. He tore his tricep, which I'm trying to understand. How do you tear your tricep? How do you tear your tricep in a football game? It doesn't even make sense to me. I know what a tricep is. I work on those because you get curls for the girls, and triceps help because you can get them nice and thick. But how do you tear one just getting thrown to the ground? It doesn't make any sense to me. Unless his were too big or something, they got ripped off. It's kind of weird. D'Angelo Williams, man, Pittsburgh Steelers, man. I really like his game. Although the first week he just went off, and then he's been kind of lackluster ever since then. So we'll definitely see how that goes. I mean, you know what? Stay with him. We need to stick with him. If the Steelers are up, that he's rolling. If the Steelers are down, he's not. Now, I do believe though your boy's coming back. What's his name? The number one running back for the Steelers is coming back. So Le'Veon Bell's coming back. So D'Angelo's time will get diminished because Le'Veon's back, but probably not like this week. But next week you better watch out. All right. Sproles, man, Darren Sproles on a bye this week, which makes me sad because he's my guy. So we definitely have to let him go. But I tell you what, man, Sproles is one of those guys that is a stat stuffer. If your team is struggling, get Sproles because he's in the game so much. He's on kickoff returns, he's on punt returns, then he's on part of the offense, third down back, receiving yards, rushing yards up close. Sproles is the guy. So make sure that you try to put him on the squad. I always like him. In most of the leagues, about 40% of the teams own him. But he's a really good dude to have. All right, and then your quarterbacks, man. Really, quarterbacks are a pick 'em. Typically, you're going to have, you think about in the league, there's 32 starting quarterbacks. All of them any good? No, not really. But for the most part, especially if you had Fitzpatrick this week, you was super sad because what do you do? Throw 6 interceptions? Nobody wants somebody throwing 6 interceptions. That's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous throwing 6 interceptions. Nobody wants that. So if you're in a situation where you have one of these quarterbacks, that's no good, you don't want them because, especially like I said, Fitzpatrick, somebody like that, it's the silliest thing ever to have a guy of that magnitude, that a starter, that's going to throw. It's almost like he was just throwing the ball anywhere he wanted to. All right, folks. Once again, you're listening to the Heavy Hitters Radio Show, man. We're live on Spreaker.com, and this is you know what? This is the solo Moose show, man. It looks like as I look across the street, it looks like Rizzy is getting off work. She's coming over to join me for the last 20 minutes or so. But hey, shout out to AGZ, man. I know you're out of town somewhere working, trying to make it happen in your 40. Like I said, like the old schoolers too, man. It's very serious, man. And we definitely miss y'all. We got to have some sort of show where we pull everybody together. So I'm not sure. All right. So I tell you what, man. If you guys don't even know what's going on with me right now, like I was by myself, and now I'm one of the happiest men in the world. Cause I I got the one, the only Rizzy, man. Rizzy, folks. Rizzy is here, and she looks tired, but I'm definitely sure she's ready to talk. What's up, Rizzy? How you doing? What's that?
I'm extremely tired.
All right, so well, I'm glad to see you. I mean, it was kind of a Moose solo show, man. Too.
What's up with that?
I was just going, man. I was just going. And, you're a hard-working woman, and Jeezy's a hard-working woman, and I work hard too. But my day's typically over no later than 6:30. Isn't that nice? Unless I'm coaching, then it's 8:00.
Yeah, that's nice.
All right, so right before you came up here, I was talking about fantasy football, and I understand that you are in a couple leagues. Do you have any insight into fantasy football, or what's going on with that?
Thank you so much. Well, teams. There's a lot of injured players early on in the season.
That's pretty crazy.
And I don't know, the underdogs are kind of smashing the better teams or the projected better teams.
What do you mean by that? What do you mean?
I mean, the underdog teams are just coming out the woodwork.
The underdog teams are players.
Teams.
Okay. Like Houston. They're not winning. Oh, yeah. And they might be leading the division right now.
There's just been a lot of upsets and kind of weird, just some weird off-the-wall stuff happening this season so far. So, yeah.
You got one team? You got two teams in the...
Three.
Yeah. What?
Yeah.
See, you know what? This is Moose. I mean, I might be, I don't know if I'm half a chick or what. I only got two teams myself.
Well, okay, I have two paid leagues, and then I have one free league. So the free league is not really important to me. I keep up on it, but, I mean, as long as I'm doing all right in my paid leagues, I'm cool.
I found more and more women are doing fantasy football. I told a woman today that.
So I put together an all-women's league. So I'm running an all-girls league.
What?
Because all these girls are like, oh, I want to learn how to do it. But you know what? They're not about it. That's why I'm really not into.
Is that the free one?
Yes, because they were all about it at first. And, oh, yeah, let's do it. I had a thing at my house. I tried to explain it all to them, and they're not even paying attention to it. It's pretty lame. Like, for those of us that are into it and pay attention to our teams, and it kind of sucks because then you got these ones that are just sitting and watching their numbers flip and wondering why they're losing.
I wish, next time you got to tell me, because I have a sister that absolutely loves fantasy football. And she's in the Heavy Hitters League, which you are not.
Well, that's not my fault.
Yeah, it is.
Completely
folks,
your fault.
it
No
is.
one told me
Folks, it is
whatever.
your fault.
They
It is
didn't
your
tell me
fault.
when it was.
So anyway, so my sister's in the Heavy Hitters League, and Rizzy did not join with us because she's got her other. She's too fancy for us.
Because they ignored me.